What is up, YouTube? My name is Dead Mewtwo, and in today's video, I'm bringing you a Triumphant Light deck that I'm hopeful to break the meta and bring something new and fresh to the table. That deck is oriented around using the new cards Carnivine and Arceus, and so this is going to be one of those kinds of decks that plays similar to the Skarmory and Magnezone decks, but with a lot more consistency and a lot more aggression capabilities. But right before we get into the video, I want to take an opportunity and really appreciate you all for being my audience. Thank you so much for giving me your time, and thank you so much for giving me your support. I just crossed the 135 subscriber threshold, and I am just so excited, and that could not have been possible without you. If you're new to the channel and you like my commentary, consider hitting that subscribe button with notifications on, just so you can be notified for whenever I have a new video for you. If this video resonates and you really feel like you might try this deck out there in the wild, give the video a like, comment down below, and let me know exactly what you appreciate about my commentary and what you might change for your own personal flair. Now, without further ado, let's go ahead and get into the strategy talk. First up, we've got our Carnivine Arceus engine, and I've been developing this all weekend since the Triumphant Light set launched, and I think that you are all going to very much enjoy it. So first on the list, we've got Carnivine. Carnivine has the ability Power Link, and that reads, if you have an Arceus or an Arceus EX in play, attacks used by this Pokemon do plus 30 damage to your opponent's active Pokemon. So Carnivine has 80 HP, 1 cost to retreat, is weak to fire, and a 1 cost attack called Vine Whip, which does 20 base damage, and with the Power Link ability online from an Arceus, you can do 50 damage for 1 energy. That is power right there. And so to complement the synergy and the consistency with Carnivine, we run 2 Arceus and 2 Arceus EX. We pretty much always want to make sure that Carnivine can be online whenever the time comes, if not on the very first turn, so that we can start digging into our opponent's Pokemon and stop them from setting up so that we can claim those victories. The non-EX Arceus is also a flavored choice because at certain points in the game, you may have to start preparing against a Sabrina, and Arceus with 120 HP is a very, very nice breakpoint to be able to have on a basic type Pokemon, or at the very least, an easy Pokemon to set onto your bench and not get one-shot. The Arceus EX also has a fantastic ability called Fabled Luster that reads, this Pokemon can't be affected by any special conditions. We're talking about confusion, we're talking about sleep, we're talking about paralysis or poison, anything like that, Arceus can't be affected. On top of that, Arceus has 140 HP, is weak to fighting, has a 2 cost to retreat, and a 3 energy attack called Ultimate Force, which does 70 base damage and reads, this attack does 20 more damage for each of your bench Pokemon. It's very similar to the way that Pidgeot EX plays, except for you get control over your own bench rather than having to have your opponent make decisions about their bench, which benefit you. Now, the one thing we're going to have to keep in mind is our 140 health with this card, because we don't want to be giving up 2 points for no reason, or for the simple sacrifice of being able to push our victory. Nonetheless, I think that the synergy here is so cool and is going to bring so much new flavor to the game. I'm very happy to see this. Moving on, we've got our next win condition, and that is the Combee Vespiquen lines. And so the Combee comes from Space-Time Smackdown, and the Vespiquen comes from the Triumphant Light pack. So you'll have to mix and match these a little bit, but I've chosen these two specifically because of their aggression and their energy costs. So Combee is a plant-type Pokemon that has a 1 energy cost attack called Call for Family, which does no damage, but reads, put 1 random basic Pokemon from your deck onto your bench. And in this deck, we're running several basic Pokemon. I'll say for consistency, it's hard to guarantee what you need, but in general, any of our basic types are pushing forward our game plan, and that's really good. Now, some of you may be thinking, what about Caterpie? Caterpie has something very similar to this, and you don't have to put it on your bench. You can just go ahead and put it in your hand. But Caterpie doesn't have a strong evolution like Vespiquen. Butterfree can only swing for about 60 to 80 and heal your Pokemon, which healing in this deck can be strong. But on the flavor choices and selection of Pokemon, we're prioritizing aggression here and high damage output whenever the time comes, and Caterpie really does not fit into that guideline. So moving to Vespiquen real quick, Vespiquen does have a pretty low HP at just 100, but it's a stage 1, which means it's very easy to build. It has a 2 cost to retreat and a 3 energy cost attack called Reckless Charge, which does 120 damage and reads, this Pokemon also does 30 damage to itself. So taking that into consideration, you're going to be putting yourself within 1 shot to a lot of stage 1s and definitely some stage 2s, if not a lot of EXs out there by just attacking with Vespiquen. This card can be used best whenever you want to be able to close the gap on any breakpoints on your opponent's side, take any points for Pokemon your opponent has, or possibly even use as a further shield while you're kind of building up your bench and or getting Arceus ready to step into the active slot. Subsequently, whenever we add the Combees with the Carnivines and the non-EX Arceuses, we have together now a non-EX engine in this deck, which also allows a lot of flexibility and some game-making decisions, which allows you to also put in lots of damage in a non-EX fashion. This is something I have not seen from any deck that I've built in Pokemon Pocket yet, and I think that this hybrid with non-EX, EX strategy building is so interesting and something that we're going to see in multiple different flavors from multiple different types of Pokemon. All right, and to finish off the Pokemon list here, we've got one Shaman in the deck. This is the Shaman that comes from Triumphant Light, and it has the ability called Sky Support. That reads, as long as this Pokemon is on your bench, your active basic Pokemon's retreat cost is 1 less, and that is awesome. We don't want to run 2 of this because we don't want to clog our deck too much with basic types and or Pokemon that don't really have the attack value that we want. But this continuous X speed ability on Shaman is so powerful and allows our maneuverability in this deck to skyrocket. Now, getting into the items of the deck, we're going to be running 2 Rocky Helmet, and 2 Rocky Helmet is essential in this deck. I feel like if you were to try the Giant Cape in the deck, it just doesn't complement the aggression strategy that we're trying to have here. And Rocky Helmet really does help close the gap on your opponent's life thresholds so that Arceus can do the maximum damage without having to worry about the breakpoint so much. In our supporter package, we run this trio here. We're prioritizing aggression and disruption if we can. And so Giovanni giving us that 10 extra damage to climb over on top of our opponent's HP. So strong. Cyrus giving us selectability on any of our opponents that decide to retreat their Pokemon from the active slot is also incredibly powerful. And Sabrina giving you the opportunity to also disrupt your opponent with speed and or trying to take your opponent's Pokemon for points is something you can't miss out on. And so here is the full list if you would like to build this deck yourself and try it. I can be 100% honest and tell you that I'm winning most of my games with this deck because it has so much power, speed, and maneuverability that it's hard to compete with. I wouldn't be surprised at all if a deck like this dethrones Darkrai and stays on top of the meta for quite a while. So one thing that I'll say about this list is that in my playtesting, I did have an X speed in the Giovanni slot, but however, since the gameplay, I've playtested with the Giovanni, and I think that this is the final list here. Keep that in mind while you're watching my gameplay. Now, without further ado, let's go ahead and get into some gameplay. All right, so we've got the Combi, we've got an Arceus, and we've got a Shaman. I think that we're going to have to start with that Combi just because we want to be able to call for a family if we need it. We also have our Pokeball and Professor Oaks. We got lots of draw power sitting on us right now. This is exciting. All right, Darkrai, here he comes. And we're going to be going first this time, so let's see how this goes. We are the Darkrai's weakness right now. We're running grass, and so that's going to be very interesting. So here's our non-EX Arceus, but let's Pokeball real quick. Awesome, we got a second Combi. And the Professor Oak, what can we get? A Sabrina and the third Arceus that we've got right now. We'd love to see it just so we have that consistency. Let's send it back over. We can't do any attacks. They're going to cape up. Look at that. Okay, so we got another Pokeball. Pokeballs in this deck are so key because we can grab almost any of our Pokemon that are in the deck, and we got the Carnivine that we need. Awesome, awesome. We're also holding on to the Shaman right now, too. So let's go ahead and put the Shaman out. The Shaman's going to give us that X speed value. We're going to X speed from the Combi into the Carnivine. It's time to put the Arceus EX out there because we're going to need to kind of fill our bench up, and we need to make sure that the Carnivine has the Arceus to be able to do stuff. And so with the bench slots only being available to 3, the Arceus EX has the highest priority because it does the most damage for an EX. This is crazy. Look at all of this. Awesome. Okay, so they're going to charge with their Magneton. We're dealing with a Magnezone Darkrai deck, and this is going to be one of the tests to see how really dominant we can be here. Okay, so they're going to rock up on the Magneton. You can see that coming. The good news is we're only going to probably be taking 20 damage this turn, so that's good. There's the 20 damage. All right, so we got a Rocky Helmet now too, and I think that's a perfect place to put that on Carnivine. Let me just go ahead and start powering up the Arceus real quick, and then I need to just make sure there's nothing else I think about. I don't think so. I think it's time. All right, Rocky Helmet. Let's rock up, Carnivine. Come on, let's go. So Sabrina, I want that Darkrai back here. So Darkrai's here. Darkrai's about to take another 70 damage. And if they decide to attack me next turn with a Darkrai, well, it's going to be 2 points for me. Technically, they can close my Carnivine out, but we'll see how it goes. All right, so Darkrai is going to do the damage here. Is Darkrai going to attack me? You know, we can trade a little bit. I'll give you 1 point for 2. Oh, he does. He does. Okay. All right. All right. So we're gonna trade him 1 point for 2. Put him into a really nasty pickle. Let's see what he does. All right. Arceus is coming out. Let's see. They got their Magneton. Ooh, and a Carnivine. Okay. Interesting. Interesting. Let me... Ooh, hang on a second. Let me think. Let me think. Okay, so I think that if I retreat the Arceus into a Carnivine, I would be able to put enough damage on the Magnezone, because if they transform into Magnezone, they'll take my Carnivine, or they'll put some serious damage on my Arceus. So I think this is what we do. We put the Carnivine out, and then the Shaman's going to give us the 1 extra retreat, so we can retreat for just the 1 energy on the Arceus. We'll put the Carnivine up, and then if they happen to take the Carnivine, it's not going... Okay, never mind. They concede. Okay, well, there's that. Check this out. Look at that victory. Awesome. All right, on to the next. Here we go. All right, we're going to go second. That's excellent. That's excellent. Okay, and so we have the Arceus and the Combee to start with. We're going to go ahead and have to put the Combee out first. Again, just in case we need to call for family, we can do it. I have a Pokeball, so maybe we can get a Carnivine or something that's going to be able to help us a little bit. All right, so on our turn, let's see what we can do. We've got some Professor's Research, an X-Speed, some Pokeball. Let's see. All right, I think we're going to do the Pokeball action first. All right, so we get the Carnivine. Oh, wow. All right, all right. Things have changed. Things have changed. Let me see what I get with the... We get the Arceus and the Carnivine. So we have Arceus and Carnivine are ready to go. Let me put the Carnivine out. I'm going to do an X-Speed. We can put the Carnivine into the active slot. I have an Arceus to throw down. We're going to use the Arceus EX here. And then I can one-shot this Sneasel. Oh, man, look at this. This is crazy. Oh, man. All right, I win. Ha. Even aggressive Darkrai can't last. Look at this. That's awesome. All right, doing some more play testing. Here we go. Got some heads. Excellent. All right, we'll take some heads action. All right, we got Carnivine, Shaman, and a Combee. Let's do Carnivine first, because we can probably get an Arceus. I'm going to hold on to the rest of my card just a little bit, because I don't want to... Well, it doesn't really matter. We're fighting a Druddigon anyways. We're probably doing a Druddigon Magnezone. Dang it. Okay, so let's do Professor Oak. We got the Arceus. And an Arceus EX. All right, so we're setting up pretty okay. If I got a Vespiquen, I'd have all my, like my entire engine of the deck completely built right now, or at least available to be built right now. Yep, we're dealing with a Magnezone Darkrai, or Magnezone Darkrai deck. There's Darkrai. Dang. Okay, this is going to be intense. All right, so we got another Carnivine. And let's go ahead and throw the Arceus EX out there. You could say I could put the regular Arceus out there, but I think that with what I want to put on the bench, I need to do some extra stuff. But let's Sabrina real quick. We want to get one of their Pokemon in the back, because I don't want to attack the Druddigon. That's almost needless. Please give me the Druddigon. Or no, sorry, the Darkrai. Dang it, but they give me the Magnemite. All right, so let's Carnivine up. One thing I can give him the Shaman. All right, so Magnemite's weak. And that's exactly what they do. They retreat. But they might have their evolutions together, so that's going to be intimidating. All right, Vespiquen. That's what we want to see. Okay, so it's Professor Oak. Let's get some 2 more cards, see what we can get. I got my second Vespiquen and my third Arceus right now. Okay, so let's go ahead and start charging up our Arceus EX, because we're going to need that. We're going to need that to be able to claim this one. And I think I just start digging in. Just like Skarmory, let's go ahead and just start digging in with Carnivine. I know that I'm weak a little bit, but I am sitting on a second Carnivine if I need to possibly throw that down. Okay, so they're going to charge up their Magneton. Do they have the Magnezone? Okay. All right, well, let's go ahead. We got an X-Speed. Excellent. All right, let's do some retreating action. Let's get the healthy Carnivine out there. Let's clean up this Druddigon. Let's take a point. Yeah, let's do it. Let's do it. We got to do it. If I don't do it, man, if I put this on Arceus, yeah, if I put this on Arceus, I'll be able to actually attack with Arceus if they start to clear something. Maybe they Cyrus me. Maybe they have a leaf in their hand. I don't know. Okay. Lots of things to consider these days with the with the new supporter cards. Ooh, they're gonna rock up on their Druddigon. Dang it, that's disgusting. Yuck. All right, they're gonna charge up their Darkrai. They have a leaf. Okay, I got another Combee, so I'm sitting on 2 Combees, 2 Vespiquens. Got 2 Arceuses. Let's see. All right, I think we retreat into this Carnivine because it's gonna be. I'm gonna lose a Carnivine regardless, and so I think my thought is I'm gonna take myself out on this Druddigon, and then whatever I do that, it's going to knock this Carnivine out, but the next one is not going to be just Darkraiable, and then I have to give him 2 Pokemon because at the very least it's not going to be. He doesn't get to keep his Druddigon. It's hard to explain. It's hard to explain, but in general, this is the better move, and that's because it's just because I don't want to allow myself to get knocked out by 2 in 1 turn. I'd like to spread it out a little bit, get some control over exactly what I want to give him. Maybe it's one of the same, but I think that this is the better line. So let's do something here. Hopefully they don't have their Magnezone. If they do, I'm in trouble. So he decides to. Oh, he does have the Magnezone. Dang it. Okay. Well, my Arceus is ready to go. That's really all I can say is my Arceus is ready to go. Okay, so they take my Carnivine. All right, Rocky Helmet. Rocky Helmet, that is necessary. Absolutely necessary. We're going to throw our Combees out here just because we want to fill up the bench. Oh, no. Hang on a second. I've got 2 Arceus here. Oh, no. Oh, Sabrina. Oh, Sabrina. If I die, I die. That's really how it's going to happen. Okay, so Darkrai comes. I didn't put my energy out. Dang it. I was thinking about and there's the Sabrina. Okay, so I just want to take a second and pause the video for you all just to be able to talk about this play, because this was a huge learning moment for me while I was playing this deck and playtesting everything. Right here, specifically, right before I put these Combees out there, if I'd have made the decision to put the Arceuses specifically, I would have been Sabrina-proof. He would have been able to Sabrina me. I'd have given him an Arceus. From here, I wouldn't have been knocked out because the Arceus would have lived. And in that case, I could have put an energy right on top of Arceus and retreated because I have Shaman on the bench, right back into my Arceus EX and do plenty of damage. At the very least, sequence myself in the way that I was going to win this game. Unfortunately, that's just not how this one was. I was so susceptible to a Sabrina, and that's what he pulled, and he won. It's a humbling moment, but this was a huge lesson learned, and this is one of those things I decided to definitely showcase this game because I wanted you all to see this lesson learned. If you're going to be playing this deck in such a way, you have Sabrina insurance, and that is your Arceus non-EXs. Oh man, that's a feels bad moment. Like, dang it, we really could have won that if I just would have put the Arceuses out there. Huge lesson learned. Huge lesson learned. All right, going second. Hey, we like second. All right, so we don't have a choice. We got to go with Arceus EX this time. That's okay. We got a Pokeball. Maybe we can move into something a bit more effective. More Darkrai's, man. I really like to see these Darkrai's out here just trying their hardest. I built this deck specifically to fight Darkrai. I wanted to try and dethrone this king. Ooh, they've got an Arceus. Okay, so are we going to see some sort of maybe a Zubat variant? I've been also playing around with that style. All right, so Pokeball first, and then Carnivine. Hey, welcome, Carnivine. All right, let's put our energy on Arceus. There's nothing else that we can do. We have to get at least 2 up there. Hang on a second. Maybe, I don't know. It's not a big deal. I think at the very least, I'm just trying not to get Sabrina. You know, I just have Sabrina PTSD right now. So let's do that. And then, yeah, we want to put our energy on Arceus because that's going to be the most effective place for it. So they Darkrai damage me with their ability. Shaman is here. All right. All right. I like Shaman. Let's go ahead and put Shaman out. And I'm going to retreat from Arceus EX into my Carnivine because I'm ready to go. We're about to start slapping Darkrai for 70. Look at that. All of a sudden, Darkrai is one shot. Ooh, okay, say Leaf, but I've got the Cyrus in my hand, so, you know. Ooh, let's see how they do. They're probably gonna be pretty mad at me, is what I'm gonna be. I wouldn't be surprised if we're about to force concede them. All right, so they do the Darkrai damage. X speed. Okay, cool. On the Darkrai. Oh, they can see. They're not going to let me get away with it. They're just... Awesome. Look at that. Great victory. All right, let's see how this one goes. Tails. We like Tails. Tails never fails. Okay, so Combi goes. And we're going against a Dialga. Yanmega. Ooh, this will be interesting. How does this deck do against this? How does my deck do against theirs, I mean? All right, so we got an Arceus EX. Already great. Pokeball. For Shaman, okay. We like our retreat ability. Professor's Research. Carnivine and a Rocky Helmet. Oh my gosh, we're just sitting on gold right now. This is perfect. Okay, so Carnivine goes. We need to put the Shaman out. And then I got Arceus EX on the way, so I can power up the Carnivine. Let's go ahead and retreat the Combi into the Carnivine, and then power up the Carnivine with a Rocky Helmet and some energy. Oh my gosh, look at this. Such sequencing. Look at how explosive our battlefield just got because of just getting what we needed. All of a sudden, the threat is here. All right. So we got a Vespiquen. Let's go ahead and power up that to the Combi. Evolve, my friend. All right. And then Arceus gets some energy. Right now, we're just doing perfect in the energy efficiency and the distributions. We're just doing perfectly there. All right. Okay. Well, I'm going to take 2 points this next turn. That's pretty great. Let's go ahead and power up the Arceus again. Arceus is officially ready to move in. And so if they Sabrina me, I'm going to give them the Vespiquen. Other than that, I'm not susceptible to anything else. You know, they're gonna attack with their Yanmega, and this is how it's gonna be. I love that Yanmega card. It's super cool to look at. Dialga. All right. Come on, bruh. Bring it. Not only that, but recognize their HP is at 140. This Rocky Helmet's going to bring it down to 120, which is in perfect breakpoint threshold for Arceus to be able to take it in one shot. We got this game. This game is ours. All right, now the question is, do they let me take my final 2 points? Oh, yeah, Arceus, get out of here. Okay, there we go. Now it's working. There it is. All right. Awesome. Awesome. Look at this. Nothing stands a chance. I'm telling you, this will be the strongest deck. All right, that pretty much wraps up the gameplay for this deck. Now tell me, what did you all think? I think that this was extremely aggressive and extremely satisfying. There are some very creative choices here that I think that also allow you to sequence and have some flexibility, and Shaman giving you that reduction in retreat cost is such a powerful thing, allowing you to distribute your energies in such a way that, I don't know, it just gives you flexibility. It gives you a cushion. On top of that, the fact that Arceus is something that can live on your bench and get powered up to be able to do some crazy things, and Rocky Helmet allowing you to close the breakpoints on everything. I don't know. This is one of those decks that I could probably talk about for quite a while because it's one of those ones that's extremely exciting. It's such a cool deck to play, and I hope that you all really enjoyed it. Let me know down there in the comments section if you liked the video and if you liked my commentary. If you're going to be trying this deck out there in the wild, because if you're not seeing it from me, you're definitely going to see it from somebody else. I want to take another opportunity to really appreciate you all for being my audience. I certainly appreciate you all for tuning in and giving me your time, as well as showing me all of your support and giving me all the feedback that you have. It's very rewarding to have you all enjoying my content, and who can ask for anything better? My name is Dead and You Too, and I want you to have a safe and blessed day. Bye-bye.